foot, they've got it over 5 foot is considered a dam for them. Anything less than that, they don't. If that makes any sense at all.
So back to State Road, and we've got to maintain the edges of the road to be like a lawn, correct?
Basically.
That's what she said.
Yep.
So, what's that gonna cost?
There's currently trees.
What's that gonna cost and who's gonna pay for that?
That depends on how we want to do it. We can send our guys in there and cut trees and brush and all that.
Correct.
But our swing arms and stuff can't, they can only go so far because the guardrail's there, and we hit the guardrail, and it won't mow. We might have to get a different piece of equipment. Or hire it, or... Yeah. She was quite adamant about all the vegetation and the wood. Apparently they did this 5 years ago with John, because this has to be done every 5 years, and nothing's ever been done with it.
Oh,
so they're not real happy over that part.
Just a little upset.
And so we're trying to talk with her. Yes, we're going to work and see what we can do. But that's where it stems from.
Well, this all stems from Midland, is what this all
yes,
stems
and the dam failures. They're very, and that whole structure where it goes back out that way, there's another private structure that controls that.
Yes.
That's a whole different animal, and I guess they're trying to work on that too. But that's the whole thing, is the level of this would have to then match the level of that, and I don't know if you'd even have a pond.
I don't think it would.
It all go out to the north.
And take care of your weed control.
Yeah, I take care of the weed.
Yeah, we wouldn't have.
We go out there a lot more mowing.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to warn you that we did have a come out and do the inspection because it had to be done by December, and we elected to have Eagle do it versus paying a contractor to do it.
Yeah.
So this is what she came out, and the two of them came out, and they walked the whole place and looked at it. They're gonna give us a report, and then we're gonna have to follow that.
We gotta go from there.
Yep.
How are we ever gonna keep that like a lawn along there?
Well, they do make a piece of equipment that has like a double joint, like a swing arm with a flail mower on it. You could go right along that guardrail.
Yeah, I've seen many excavators with like a forestry head or something.
It's
go along.
doable, but
Expensive.
yeah, more work, more equipment. Just one more thing you got to keep up with. But yeah, there's literally trees out there that are like this big around, growing out of that should have never been allowed to grow to begin with. But so anyway, any more on the dam?
Onward and upward.
Our Western Star.
I do have one more question. And the dam is on the road commission, not on the parks?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, I don't know.
That-
Perfect or not,
What
but
they
It's on you.
State
it's on
road.
me, but yeah.
Yeah, state road, they consider it a dam.
Yes,
Okay.
that earth dam that the road's on is considered the dam. The other is the flow control structure.
It's the float.
That we gotta do something with.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So, more to come. Our Western Star trucks, they're saying they're gonna be delivered in October, invoice in November, then we'll take them to truck and trailer and get them to do the builds. So we probably won't see them this year
Probably not.
for plowing. Maybe at the very end of the year, but I'm gonna say truck and trailer is gonna take at least another 4 months to do the builds.
If you get them by March, we'll be.
Yep. Let's see, the 2 GMC pickups were delivered the other day. Like I said, they're going through the system, getting in-checked and marked and lights and all that put on them, and they'll get put in the fleet. I talked with Primoris, which is the contractor right now. They're the contractor for all the solar fields there in Fayette and a little bit into Allen. They are getting ready to turn it back. They're done with the construction, so they're out of construction phase. So now they're basically just maintaining what they have. And so Primoris is backing out and handing it over to Desiree, which is the overall company based out of New York. And so, and they're the ones that made they're the ones that signed the contract for the the gravel and the asphalt replacements that you did. So, we went back to them because the township, Allen Township, asked about changing the ones that are in theirs over to limestone from gravel, and it costs, like I said, it's about double on the limestone. So we went back to them, sent them a letter asking that the township was asking for them to do that. They replied back yesterday, basically, no, we're not gonna do that. They're gonna stick with the contract for gravel. I did talk with Ken and let him know that, and I think we kinda decided we're just gonna stick with gravel for those roads.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it across the board and see what they think, but that's probably because of the cost.
Yep.
And what we've already allocated
Already done.
this year,
Yeah.
kinda like it, yeah, it's not.
So that was like 60,000 difference to go from gravel to limestone. There was like a border road with Fayette and then like Glasgow.
Yeah,
The
Farm
BGB
Road.
did, Crown. So we're gonna do gravel on it. We were originally going to try to stockpile everything at their laydown yard, but with this handing over to Desiree, we're told they've gotta pull all their stuff out of there, and that laydown yard's gonna shrink to much of, I don't know how big, but not much nothing. So we're gonna wind up we're gonna have to order all the gravel and put it in our Watkins pit. And that's about 11,750 ton that they're paying for that we'll have to have hauled in there, and then we'll start laying it on all those roads. That's gonna take us a while. Let's
It's gonna be
see.
done before winter?
No.
So it's gonna be done this year or next year?
Easily, yeah. Cause that's a lot of roads and a lot of tonnage, cause like I said, we're still finishing up our normal, just what the townships asked for, to get the gravel patching and stuff done. Now this is gonna add 11,000 more tons to Fayette and Allen Township.
And it's not imperative that we get it done sooner?
No, we asked them to do this because they ran on all these roads for
Right.
a couple of years now. There's no way they can't say that we didn't do any damage to the roads, so they agreed that they would recap all the gravel roads with approximately 3 inches of gravel and do the paver patching and stuff on the paved roads. So we can really order that stuff in, get it in, give them the invoice, they'll pay for it, we'll have to spread it as we can. And if it gets too late in the year, we don't wanna spread it too late in the year where the snow plows are gonna blow it right back in the ditch when they snow plow.
Well, it's gonna take a while to get it in too.
Oh, yes, it'll take a while to haul it in, and it'll take a long time for us to get it hauled out to the roads too, so, yes, it will definitely be some this year and some next year. And the paving will get done this year. As soon as we get done with chip seal, we'll go back over to paving, we do our primary paving, that is a primary, and I'll just get done right along with them. So. Let's see, Lampier, I've talked to both the property owner and the contractor that he's got. They're supposed to be there this week, if not this week, next week, to move that berm back. And I went out and painted lines. Approximately would be 20 foot from the center of the road, but 10 foot from the edge of the road, which will give them room to put the ditch back in and have the bottom of the berm at that point, and then everything goes away from there. So they've both been pretty good about, yep, well, no problem, we'll get it. And he's already done his drive to that part's ditch, so as soon as that's connected, it'll flow right under his drive and on down like it's supposed to. So, well,
Are they gonna clean up the ditch that the stones have?
oh yeah, they're gonna they've gotta make it.
No, they're gonna make it, but are they gonna clean up the ditch you already put in because there's gravel and stone piling up because of the rain runoffs? Because things haven't been
Yeah,
solid.
well, we can do that.
Well,
I mean, we can have them do that as long as that's what it is, but.
right,
Okay.
I
They went underneath his drive?
I'm not gonna say where it came from, I just know the next two, cause you put a new cross tube in the next house,
Mm-hmm.
there's probably that much stone and gravel in front of that culvert,
In front of his.
in front of
Okay.
his.
We can take a look at
Yes.
that.
So my point is when this is all done, that ditch should be
Yes.
re-cleaned out
Yes.
for all of that.
Hydro seeded and
Yes.
so that naturally flows, and it should work fairly good, so. I guess we're still working, going at the abandonment for Pond 1 and Pond 2 drives at the park.
Did we get the request?
We got the permit, or not permit, we got the petition. So I think Heather was working on that. We've gotta have the county validate that those are accurate and good signatures as the, property owners and all that. And then I guess we can press with that and see how it goes.
We're the property owners. Well, the county is.
Mhm.
So that shouldn't be too hard.
But, no, it shouldn't, but everything's gotta be done.
I don't know.
The township.
The township's all for it. I think most of the signatures on the petition are the township board.
We did that last Tuesday.
Okay, let's see. We're gonna need to put out a gravel crushing bid, even though we did all that gravel at Watkins Pit, 2 years ago? It's about gone.
We need more.
So,
What about Shannon?
they've got some, but we have to buy it. All the stuff we had crushed is gone.
It's
We
gone.
used that and the crushed stone. So we've run through some gravel.
But it was very well deep.
We have options at Watkins Pit. We also have options at Pittsford Pit, but we're gonna have to clear the overburden.
Right.
Which Kevin's gonna work on that like this fall, and when they can do it on off time with a bulldozer and excavator. We gotta clear off all the overburden, then we could probably process some there too. One way or another, we're gonna put out a bid, and this time it's just gonna say, we want you to process this and this and this materials at this pit, tell us how much a ton. There's no.
With no repairs.
No, nothing, you're gonna charge us, if you make
Exactly.
10,000 ton, 10,000 times whatever you say is a ton, that's what we pay.
So you're not looking at what we did before?
No.
Where we rented the equipment and then had.
That was a
hired-
nightmare.
We just hire them.
So yes, and I have checked with Jackson, I've checked with Lenaway, they've kinda done the same things. And there are local companies here that seem to do it well and do it for a good price. Whether we buy gravel from Shannon or we buy gravel from Carr Brothers or whoever, we're gonna pay for the gravel we're using. So, yes, processing it puts it all on us up front for the cost of it, but then it's either gonna even out or we'll be ahead because we're using our gravel. But we're gonna see how the bids come in and go from there, but it's a flat rate.
Right.
What are we paying for gravel from Lake Carr? $18 a ton?
No, I think it's in the 16.
So it's not much more than what it costs us to get that gravel that we had done at Watkins and.
Well, yes, at our own pits, then I think it was in the 10 range. But if we went and we had it processed out of Shannon's pit, we said we had to pay him for the material. That added like $2 a ton, and that'd probably be more than that now. But so that brought it up to like 12, or something like that to use that. But the whole intent is, so you see the bid out there, that's what it is. We're trying to see what the prices are gonna come in at. See, we're also putting a bid out for our grader blades, which is, when they say grader blades, but it's for the graders, for the trucks, for anything that's got the cutting edge on it. They all use the same basic blade. That's also one of those items that's a high dollar once in a while. I think the last time we ordered them was in 21. You order them normally by a truckload because the freight on it eats you up. And so we're asking for 500 of one size blade, which are basic blades, then 50 of, I think a foot longer that go on the graders. And then the city also normally orders 50 at the same time for their stuff. And so it's like 600 of these blades on one truck that they'll bring in, but it'll be a significant amount of money, and you'll see that. But
What's significant?
A lot.
oh,
10 million?
No, no. 120, 150-ish.
Alright,
Dollars?
Yeah. You wish. Let's see.
Are they the carbide? Some of them used to have a carbide.
No,
insert.
these aren't carbide.
'Cause I know
They're just hardened.
because the carbide.
Carbide are way more, but carbide probably double.
But the bad part about the carbide is you wore them down and then the carbide fell
And a good operator can run a carbide blade for a good chunk of the year. A bad operator can burn it off in one day.
out. Less than that.
Yeah, so. So I guess I've got a whole 26 page, this is the gravel pit,
Request for bids.
request. And I already talked about the truck and trailer and the pickups.
And the dam.
I think I'm done.
Was that your short version?
How's that?
Oh, awesome. Any questions for Lyle?
No, I think Bob's,
He done enough, huh?
he's pretty much
Okay.
covered a lot there.
Is there any old business? Something I know. New business.
All right, here do I come again?
Okay.
Approved employee work attire policy 503.
Okay, so,
This says 530 and that says 503.
oh, it should be 5:30. On the policy here, that, I sent these out to you guys too.
Yeah.
5:30. And so basically, what this is behind it here, I just made a copy of it. Back in August of 22, Larry Brown did a letter up for the union, or actually for all the employees, saying if you were doing certain tasks that didn't have to do with like hot asphalt or emulsion or something like that, that they could wear shorts if they were approved during work. It also talks about, we need to present a professional appearance and,
Right.
We don't need to be out there wearing holey jeans and, and the biggest thing, to be honest with you, is cut off shirts.
Yeah.
We've had an issue here lately, a few of them wanting to wear, like, cut off the sleeves of the shirts and they'll just be open, and I'm like, that is not professional, no way, no how. And so we've been instructing them not to, and this is just adding to that, the wording of this is the exact same as the letter, other than I expanded on the right up front, the shirt general guidelines. And that's just to explain to all of the staff that we need to present a professional appearance, and cut off sleeves aren't that. So I guess I would like to
Move to
that.
approve.
Yes.
Support.
Any more discussion on that?
Nope.
If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I'm gonna sign one of these, right?
Yes, yes, please. And I have had discussions with the entire workforce over there on this, but once you sign this Monday, we will have another meeting, and just to let them know that this is, and we'll post a policy for them.
Okay. Next one's approved permit and inspection fee schedule.
Okay, so for this one, we started doing some permits for some of the local fiber optic companies that are going in all over the place in the county. We found an error in our permit fee schedule that doesn't correlate with the MCL. And so we contacted CRA, they've never dug into it that far either, and they were kind of surprised, and they're like, I guess we're gonna have to look into this, but the MCL calls out that a permit or project, should start with the permit. The permit can't be any more than $300 for the standard permit. And it's only to cover our cost of what it costs us to inspect and do the permit and anything associated with it. And then for a project is capped at $1,000 per project. And so we've had quite a few big projects that we've just permitted the whole thing, and it's been quite a few $1,000s per project. So what CRA's recommended is we need to identify what we say the project size is, and then it needs to be limited to 1,000, so you need to limit your project size to what would reasonably be in that, that max of $1,000 per permit. So the only real change is if you look under utilities, most way down, broadband new permit, in parentheses says limited a size of maximum of 1 contiguous mile per permit. So we're gonna limit in mile chunks. So if they've got a 5-mile road, it'll be 5 permits. And each permit will handle, and at that point, they'll have the $300, and our permit fees used to be $330, which was over that $300. So we bumped it back to 300 to make sure we meet that. And so then, if they have, like I said, if they have a 3 or 4 mile project, it'll be 3 or 4 permits. And if they've got crossings or if they bore or something down the roads, each one of these things add up to it. But if they add up to over 1,000 in that mile, it's still gonna be capped at $1,000. So it could, and then we had one the other day that came in that I think it wound up being about $2,200 all added up for what we would have charged or what was this fee schedule. But then it shows a cap of 1,000. So you'll see probably permits where the fee schedule calls for a amount, but we're gonna cap it at 1,000, that's all they're gonna do, because that's what the MCL says, so. Let's see, and then on the second page, in the red in the middle under note, number 3, permits or projects are limited to maximum combined total cost of no more than 1,000 per permit/project. And that's just to try to stay in line with that. Do you have any questions on it? Because I think that's the only, other than what you approved back in January, and that's right up above, the revised was January, and this would be effective today, if you approve this.
I move that we approve the revised permit and inspection fee schedule.
Question.
Sure.
So the stuff that is red on here, is that what changed on January 8th?
No, those are, the red on this is asterisk items, and on the back, the asterisk is red to kind of draw attention to.
Okay.
Those are required bonding.
Okay, all right,
So, other than
So
the
that's
notes,
what-
I put the
right,
notes just to
okay,
draw attention.
all right. Well, and that's what, a lot of times red means where the change is,
No, yeah.
and the broadband fee wasn't in red, so that's what I was.
Yeah, we've always done the asterisk as the
As
bonding.
red, okay,
Is
for
to
bond,
draw
okay,
attention to that bonding
Okay.
requirement.
all right,
Oh, and I guess I missed, I did add that we never had before, an overhead, an annual broadband, and in parentheses, maintenance of existing system only. That's to mirror the same as utilities up above. If it's an existing system in there and it breaks or whatever, they need to do maintenance on the existing system, they can do an annual permit, they can come in and do any maintenance that they need for that. All the others are for installing a new line or a new, they've got maybe the main line runs down the road, but they need to run a new line to a new house. That would be the other permit. But if it's existing, they need to work on it, they can work on it under maintenance. So those are the only changes.
Okay, we ready to vote? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
So the last one here is the township contract for Somerset Township on Somerset Road from Calhoun Road to US 12, which is 2.29 miles. They're asking for 500 tons of paver patch and then chip and fog seal that 2.29 miles. with the estimated township cost share of $107,750. I would like to weigh in as far as I'm concerned that this needs to go to next year. It's too late in the year to add a project like this with everything else that we've got scheduled. They were given this contract back in January when we met with them, and then again in April, because I guess they had an internal issue that they didn't get it. So we sent them again, and now it's July, towards the end of July, and we're now getting a contract to do this. I think it needs to go to next year, and of course, the prices will change, so this contract wouldn't reflect the current prices. So I think I'm just personally saying I think it needs to go to next year and redo a contract next year. But that's your call.
Well, that was gonna be my question, is having a contract come in this late, is it, and if we weren't planning on it, do we have the time to do it?
I would say no.
I explained that to them at their June meeting,
Okay,
but they went ahead and did it at their July, or not their.
I mean, I appreciate they wanna work on the roads,
June
and I think it
Right.
does need to get done.
meeting.
I just think we can't afford to do it this year,
No.
time-wise.
time-wise.
And we're too late, it's too late anyways, to be truthful.
We need a motion to deny.
We can,
Or we just let it hang.
I think one way or another, we need to be able to go back to the township and let them know
Right.
what your
I'll
stance is.
move that we, deny the, you're starting to say something.
Yes. What about a motion to defer this to next year? That way, we're not saying we're not gonna do it, but that we don't have time.
I'll support
But-
your motion.
With
But-
new
Prices.
figures.
But with updated pricing.
That's correct, that would be better than denying
Yeah.
it, because we really wanna get the project
Right.
done.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So I move that we postpone this contract to 27 with updated pricing at that time.
I support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. All
So
right,
you'll contact the township on that and discuss it with them?
Yep.
Okay.
public comment, we got any public comment? Yes, sir.
Coming back for round two. So, I guess my question is, when you're doing the grading and the brining and stuff like that, are you gonna be able to get that cross tube put in on, Weston that we talked about right there by Farm Road?
He's trying to get all these tubes that we can. He's got quite a few of them, but yes.
Oh, I knew, just listening, you had a few of them, I just, because I've had people asking me about it. No, there's
Western and Cross.
water on the road there, and they're washing out and everything like that. I said, there was talk putting a cross tube in, and I probably shouldn't have said that, because now they're asking about that. But,
No, because I don't believe that's not gonna be a big major.
no, it's not heavily traveled
They
road.
can knock that out in a day.
Get
or
a
two.
backhoe out there, that'd be heavily traveled, but, you know,
I can validate that with them if they get to it.
okay, so. And then the other stuff from the solar company, that's gonna be next year when that's done, so there's plenty of time to work on that.
Alan?
Roughly, what is the cost of crushed line per ton, or is that how you priced it?
Limestone is, again, I don't have the bid right in front of me, but it's in the $36.
Roughly $36 per ton, and how many tons per mile at 4 inches? Or whatever you,
At 4 inches, you're probably gonna be at about 3,000.
3,000 tons?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why. Yep.
Depends if it's raining or not, how heavy it is.
You understand, most of the people on Ridge Drive are retired or disabled, right?
Senior discount.
Or both.
Oh, no, Alan.
Senior citizens discount.
Anybody else? Yeah,
Just a point, I'm West Wickham, but a point, the city engineer, I don't know if you work there, his specialty, I understand, is dams for the city of Hillsdale. I met him at, one there we have on 160, the Mill Pond Dam, and he had all his toys out. So,
That'll be a good
City got
Option
an
first,
engineer?
you know? So, he's working on the water that's, how you call it, out into everywhere, if they lower something, how much it goes down. So I guess he's, according to Jason, he's
Pretty good.
dams and everything, so it's just a thought.
I can definitely reach out to him. Cause I think this is gonna
Yeah,
be a nightmare.
big one. Anybody else? Doug?
No update, I'll take questions if you have questions.
I can't think of any. That means you're doing your job.
Not necessarily. Could be you're not paying attention.